Hi FlossTube, this is Barb with Lost and Floss. This channel is primarily about cross stitch, but sometimes some other things thrown in. Today is February 14th, 2022, Valentine's Day. Sorry I'm not wearing red, but I have lots of Valentine's things to show you, or you know, love heart related projects that I've been working on. It seemed like I was just obsessed, like every cute new thing I wanted to do. And yeah. So I'm in the midst of hashtag on Instagram, Finish It February SAL. And how that works for me is I just cannot start anything new in the month of February, and it doesn't mean I have to work on any one thing any amount of time, but I can't start any new projects. So that's been going pretty well. I've seen some good progress on some of my bigger projects, so that's always exciting. You know, maybe there'll be an end in sight. But yeah, we'll keep plugging away on that kind of stuff. So first off, a couple thank yous. Michelle, my Instagram friend, she sent me this cute Christmas card, but I forgot to show. But look at these cute charms. A little snowman and the years, 2022, and just adorable. So those will go on either. Look at that snowman, isn't he cute? So those will go on either an ornament or a little pillow or something of that nature this year. So thank you, Michelle. That was really sweet. And then also Lisa, Instagram. I know I'm going to get this wrong. She's from Australia. She has both a FlossTube and an Instagram account that I will include in the drop down. And if you don't know what the drop down is, it's the little triangle arrow going down. You just click on that and there'll be all sorts of information about what I'm talking about and sales and all that sort of stuff. So but anyways, Lisa gifted me with a cute little chart she designed, Jack Frost. I don't know if that's its full name, but she has an Etsy shop and is designing cross stitch. So it's just a cute little stitch, and I'll try to get it in my rotation for next year, but I'll provide the link to her both Instagram and YouTube, so you can go check her out too. So, have I bought anything? Not anything cross stitch, but while we were up north, I went to the quilt shop, which was great fun. I needed some backing fabric for one of my finishes that I'm going to show you. And I ended up coming home with a bunch of fat quarters. I'm like, oh, I really want to make like some filler hearts to go amongst my cross stitch, and so I'm like, you know, like it's hard to find things that are what's in my head, and so if I see them out when I'm out and about, I've just learned to grab them. And then I got this cute little fat quarter bundle, all these nice little red and cream prints. So I might try making a project out of that. We'll see. For those of you wondering, I still have not completed my Celeste Creates quilt. Tomorrow I plan to go and buy the batting, because that's kind of what I've been waiting for. And then I'll rewatch the next step about putting the batting in the front of the fabric and the backing all together. So hopefully that part I don't have any qualms about, but the quilting part might be a little bit of a challenge for me. We'll see. Oh, and I don't have it with me. If I can see it from here. I'm in my craft room today, and I know it's a mess. But I have aspirations to, you know, get this stuff cleaned up, and oh, I have quite the shadow going on here. Oh well. You guys will see, hopefully see the projects well. But anyways, I'm off on a tangent. But at the quilt shop, I got this cute little, it's River's Edge Antiques and Quilt Loft. So if you're ever in Hayward, Wisconsin, northwest part of the state, go check them out because they really have a lot of beautiful things there. And this cute little, ooh, bad. Cute little. There we go. That's not too bad. Isn't that cute? And I think rather than frame it, I'll probably make it into a little pillow. So might even work on that tonight. We'll see. I've been watching the Olympics, and so that's great for stitching, kind of. I mean, I tend to find my hole and then I'll look up and make the stitch. And, you know, if I'm watching it live, which the times at least are good this Olympics for seeing things live, because it's their morning over there. So I tend to, you know, stitch during the commercials and blah, blah, blah. But, okay, so those things are shown. And then I wanted to mention, I had talked about how I wanted to get the Prairie Year charts done this year. And I had done maybe 4 of them before this. Well, I'm now up to 6. And Anna from Stitch Roadie's Quilt Roadies decided we needed to have a SAL with it. So I feel like, you know, I will commit to that, and that will ensure that I get all the remainder done this year. So I just finished January and February. Then I had March, April, May done, and October. So I might, you know, once spring is here, I might start back up. And they really go pretty fast. So if you would like to join us, I'll put the hashtag to use on Instagram in the show notes in that drop down I talked about, and we'll go from there. And, you know, I never say welcome or welcome to new people, but, you know, my subscriber numbers inch along, and so I'm thrilled about that. And so if you're not subscribed, please do so and ring the little bell, because that will ensure that you're notified when I make a new video, which is sporadic. And I have a really busy March coming up, so it probably will be a while before I have another one after this. But who knows what I'll get done, right? So, okay. I think you'll enjoy seeing that. So anyways, we have the Prairie Schooler year, and it's gonna be fun. So let's see. And speaking of subscribers, we reached the 7,000 milestone. So that means we're gonna have another giveaway. It's got to be next video instead of this video, with the exception of I'm going to send this little spring serenade to someone with thy needle and thread. Brenda Gervais. I should take this out. But I stitched this last year, and it's just a quick, easy stitch. But I'm going to give that away, this video, maybe within the next couple days, even before my next video. So if you're interested, maybe leave a comment about what you like about spring, and I'll try to get that chart out maybe towards the end of this week, so that whoever is the lucky recipient can start stitching it and have it done for spring this year. The days are getting longer, and I just, it really hasn't been an awful winter, so I can't complain about that. But and now that I'm retired, it's like, well, it's cold out. I have to go out. So but anyways, if you would like to be entered, please be a subscriber. Please like the video. You need to be over 18, and yeah, tell me what you like about spring. I love to read some of the answers to the questions. It's always fun. Oh, and then I was thinking ahead to 4th of July finishing. I just got some other little, they're not even a fat quarter. They were on sale. They're fat 8ths, I believe. So, okay, so we talked about the giveaway, and now I guess it's, oh, and don't say giveaway. Although I said it, right? Now it's time to talk about what I've been working on. So, I've got these all on my ironing board, so if you hear a loud noise of things falling over, you'll know why. One of the things I bought at Country Sampler when I was there last fall is every time I sound like I have marbles in my mouth. Stacy Nash Primitives Gathering the Greens Sampler. So pretty. And I started this right before, it was probably the last day in January, just so if I wanted to work on it in February, I could. But I just got a little bit of the roof in. But love the variegation in that. And I think this is 36, it was a kit, but I think it's 36 count hog bristle, if I remember correctly. That sounds about right. So, and we're crinkling, because I've learned that if I don't put things away soon, it's never good. I was gonna start on Spring Band Sampler, and then I'm like, these go really pretty quick. Although I had a mistake that there was no way I could not frog it, so I tore it out. But this is Little House Needleworks Autumn Band Sampler. That's the official name. Whoa! And I'm stitching mine on Vintage Country Mocha, and I think it's 28 count, because I need it to be the same as the winter one I stitched. So I've got to start on the house. The bottom part I had stitched a good chunk of, and then I realized I was off and I couldn't make it work, so it was easier just to tear it out. But if I even sat down a good night with this, I probably could get the rest of it cranked out pretty quickly. Just throwing them on the floor. Somewhere up there, Leon's just shaking her head. The Prairie Schooler February. These are another thing I'm trying to get the months done on. And I think I mentioned before, I'm not sure if I'm going to have 2 grown hogs or if I'll take one of the other motifs. I really like that heart up in the corner. That's really pretty. So maybe that. But I've got a little bit of a start. I've got one of the cabins done and some of the lettering, the little bird, dove maybe, I don't know what he is, pigeon, gray bird. He's holding a Valentine, that's what matters. So, yeah, I like this. I doubt I'll get it done in February, so I'll probably put it away and then pull out the next month I have started, which I don't know if it's maybe April. I'm not really sure. March, April. I think it's April. So then we move on to Wisconsin River Sampler, Tracey and me. And I'm really getting pretty far on it. But I've been into the 1/1, which I'm starting to make peace with. I mean, I don't love it, but I can do it when I have to. I think the main thing is, no matter if it's an overdyed or not, for me, is go all the way down the row and then come back and cross the stitch. So, it's a cute little thing. I should fill in the flag because that would be kind of a good incentive to keep going on it. Did I show you the chart? I don't know that I did. Oops. So this is Tracey and me. So this is one I've been, it's probably my oldest whip, I think. Yeah, so I need to get this finished. So let's bring up the stocking, shall we? Stitching this for my 4th grandchild. And it's a Dimensions Gold kit. And when we were up north a week or two ago, I really tried to keep working on this for a good part of the day or night, whatever. So I'm getting to a point where I almost have the sky done, which I will shout woohoo, but I'm thinking I might just start down farther now and go back up there because it's getting hard for me to stay focused on it. I just want to be done with it. So, but I think Santa's looking good. You know, his back stitching and the reindeers will really make them pop. But it's got to be done by December this year, so I keep plugging away. I don't know. It's fun to work on. Now that I'm kind of back in the groove, you know, when you let it sit too long, then it's like, oh. And then I just have my working copy picture, Winter Rose Manor. Like when I borrow a chart from someone, I don't want it to get messed up. Oops. Guess that would help, right? I try to pin it on my bulletin board so I don't lose it, or, you know, pin the little bag it comes in. So I found that works well. But I'm really, really close to being done. I have to put my middle initial in there, and there's definitely more snow, some more of the diamonds to fill in. But I got all the curtains in and the window part, and I can't wait for this one to be done. I am going to take it in and have it framed because I want it to be something special and, you know, frame worthy. I feel like it definitely would be. I'm stitching this with mostly the Called for Colors. I used a different white. I used Classic Colorworks bamboo instead of, I don't know, toasted or roasted marshmallow, whatever it was, because I'm stitching it on 36 count winter brew, and the Called for white just didn't pop enough. But I think all the rest of the colors are the called for. So just a beautiful, beautiful chart. I'm going to be thrilled to have that on my wall. And then here's another one from the oldest, which is only, I don't know, 3 years. Yeah, I think they were, well, they were from 2020. Or no, they might have been earlier because they were on my Stitch 10 and 20 challenge and they're not done. But this year they need to be. The Scarlet House, American Farmhouse. It's such a beautiful chart. I was debating, I liked how on here, like the blue gray had blue tones, where mine was really, really pretty gray. And so then I was like debating. I used one blue for the quilts patch over the porch part of the White House. And then I used the called for gray over the flower basket, and it just looks so gray to me. So then I had started with the flowers and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I tried one of this and one of that. So in the end, I just left what I had in there, stitched, and I started with the next color. And so I think it added some variation to it, and yet, you know, I didn't have to commit to all one flower or one color. But I started, oops, hard to see. I started on the grass. I've got the letters done. So the grass is what I need to finish up, and then I think it'll be done. This one is 36 count bark, I believe. I got it kitted up from Country Sampler a number of years ago when I got back into stitching. So, okay, now, yay! So you can see that I've made some good progress this month. There's still, like, I was obsessed with Valentine stitching. I don't know why, because like now I have enough things, but like there's so many cute even freebies, and I had some, you know, like I would get a finishing piece that I'd get something in my mind, and then I'd be like, okay, what am I going to use to put on here? And you know, so then that kind of got to be a vicious cycle, but it's all good. So I'm going to show you my FOs. This is a seasonal piece that I'm done with the last season. So, woo. It's by the Work Basket, and it's Work Basket of Seasons. And Leanne and I both bought this one when we were at StitchCon. And how they had it finished, it's like kind of a flip book on, like out of that, not cardboard, but that, I don't know, paper mache-ish type material. And then it's on rings, so you can finish each one on a sheet and then like flip them by the season. And in fact, I think that might be because I have her finishing thing and mine. So that might be the chart, and the finishing thing might be one of the items for the 7,000 subscriber. But anyways, I have to look back. I know I have a picture of how it was done, but I finished spring. So it looks really cheery to me. So Leanne stitched, and I will like having some that she stitched and some that I stitched. Leanne stitched summer. And autumn. And then I did spring. I have this on the other side. And then winter. So they're you know, fun little things. I don't know. For me, lots of counting because you're going all overboard, all over the place with colors. So, but I think it'll be easy enough to finish them. So, as I mentioned, the Prairie Schooler, A Prairie Year. Look at January. It's that little clock. So I decided to do mine in a little different color scheme. So I did a gray, and I used the kind of aqua color. And then I found this cording. It might be a little large, but I've got, whoa. I've got a mess on the back. That's what I have. Well, okay. I'll take the vacuum to it, but cute little flannel on the back. And then this is done. So that'll be fun to have for next year, January. Then let's see. Oh, here's another envelope. So I can't think of who it was, if it was Carol or Ginger on Instagram. I'll put it, I think it was Carol. She had last year the cutest Valentine stitch that she had finished in an oval and listed the book it was from. So I immediately went to Amazon and got the book. I looked this year and it was, I don't know if it was listed for a couple $100. I'm like, ooh. But there's some cute things in there, although I can't say it's the easiest to read the charts. I end up just taking a picture on my phone and then blowing it up as I do it. But she finished hers with she had a line going from the bird's beak with a long stitch, and then has a little heart button with just a little thin red ribbon tied to the top. So I may copy that idea. I just was using scrap, so mine is on, I think it's 28 count white Lugana, and so it's much bigger than hers was. So I loved her oval finish, but this wasn't going to work for mine. But I had this, I think this frame that I got, I think at the dollar store or something. And I was going to paint it, and I thought, oh, that'd be really cute on there. But then I forgot I also had this paper mache mailbox. I think this was from Joann's last year, and I don't even know. I don't think I paid $1 for it because it's broken, but I think I can get that back. But then I was looking, I was thinking, okay, he's holding, it's like mail, and then my brain started working this way, and I'm like, oh, couldn't you see, putting that on the outside? Which I thought would be really cute, and it would fit pretty good. And then I'd have to figure out, cover the box in fabric or maybe scrapbook paper. But part of me was thinking, oh, it'd be even cuter to have it open with, some pillows coming out. But then I think this would be too large. Then I'm thinking, well, if I have the pillows coming out, maybe I could figure out a way to put this on the outside, on the side. So, any ideas? I'm always open. Oh, and thank you to the viewers who sent me pictures of Prairie Schooler Santa finishes. I mean, there were some beautiful things like quilts and, wall hangings and stuff like that. So, really, really pretty. Although I don't know that I'm ever going to get that many, so I'm like, maybe I should just make them into ornaments and call it done. So let's see. Prairie Schooler Year. So that's it for my FOs. Prairie Schooler Year. I did get February done. And I'm not displaying mine all at once. It's hard to tell if it's glare or not glare, because I'm seeing a glare. So I'm not finishing mine all the same way. So this is February. I'll back up a little bit. This is vintage lace. And I think I'm going to show you my box because I have it right here. But I wanted to use this somehow. So I had this like variegated ribbon and I just, looped that through and made a pillow that way. But I don't know. What do you think? Does it need cording? I'm not sure that would be too much. And I don't know, the white might be too stark. So I'm open to opinions on this. I'm calling it an FO because technically it could be done. If I just leave it, it's done. So I don't know. I think this stripe maybe is way too busy, but I didn't know if the cream is too much. And then I was thinking, should I make a little bow for here? I mean, I don't want to cover up the lace. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. All right. Now, I'm going to put this one in the... Well, no. Okay. So, Instagram name. Let me make sure I get this right. It's Raquel. Traveling Viking Mama, I think it is. And I will put it in the drop down. She was so kind as to let me borrow her old Prairie Schooler from the heart chart. And I've returned it. So it's like all responsibilities back to her on it. But there were 5 little charts and I showed them in a picture last video, I believe. But one was cuter than the other. And I just stitched it on a scrap of like, I don't know if was Lugana, like mushroom Lugana, because can't have too much mushroom Lugana. Well, there's 5 charts and the 4th and 5th one. So I stitched the 5th one on a line all itself, but I got it way, way, way too far up next to the 4th one. So, I mean, if I had that much between the 2 things, it was a lot. So I decided I had to make, well, and this one I think was suited to being a circle. But I was going to just make it a flat thing. And then, then I was like looking at, I had a spool from ribbon. And so I'm like, oh, if I trim that off, I trimmed off the bottom half. So it was flat with the part that you'd wind the ribbon around. And then I just wrapped this cord around it and put some scrap paper on the bottom. But I thought, well, it's, something different than just doing the same finish all the time. I don't know if I'd do another one like that, but I think it's kind of cute. And then this was the other casualty of the, why didn't you stitch further down? But I think this one worked out okay. So I was going with the top being, kind of on an angle. And then that didn't look as good as I wanted. So I ended up having this piece of cording. And I stuck it on. And now I really like it. I mean, I was thinking about making it all heart-shaped. But I really like those flowers on there. So I didn't want to get rid of them. And then this is like the sampler one. Also really cute. And I did have like this vintage seam binding I was thinking about putting on this. But I think that's way too much for that. So instead I was thinking maybe of using this color and making some cording according to the Great Vanna's tutorial out of like this color. I thought that would be pretty. So, and I just used like whatever on the back. I think I used different ones. And then these are the other two. And these two, I might just leave without anything on. That's the little basket. And this is another flower basket. So I am thrilled I was able to stitch these. And this one I just used like a little red. Reminds me of like when I first started sewing these kind of prints in cotton. I think my mom called them kettle cloth. I don't know why. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. Just like kind of a vintagey look. Alrighty. So that's that. Oh, and I don't have the chart here. I got this on Etsy after seeing it on Instagram, and I thought it was so darn cute. I originally was going to put it on a paper mache box, and then I had this pewter, I think it's maybe a candle holder. I don't know. And I thought, oh, that'd be really cute. So I used one of my new fabrics for the backing and made some cording, and I used kind of the called for colors. Maybe I don't know. I don't think I really did. I think I kind of just, what I had out, I used. But I think it's really cute. So I still have the paper mache box for something else. So I will put the chart name in the show notes. And I just stitched this 1/2 on a piece of vintage. Is it? I'm thinking it's lentil bean. Is that right? It sounds like soup. It was a vintage Lakeside, I know for a fact, 36 count. I think it was lentil bean or lentil. I don't know. You stitchers know. All right. Then I've got 2 more. And these are my I love them so much finishes. I really do love them so much. So I'm going to show this chart because it was a freebie designed by Hello from Liz Matthews. And last year, I think it was from last year, it was Hope. And I thought it was so pretty. But I think she was going to release one the next month. And I got all excited because I'm like, oh, I bet it's going to be love. And then it wasn't. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to turn that into love because, I mean, it wasn't that hard to figure out how to change the H. I mean, the O and the E were already there. And then, so I just had to change the L and the V. And I could kick myself because I didn't remember to do this. But originally I thought I was going to stitch the flowers upside down so they looked even more like hearts, but I forgot to do that. So maybe, Liz, you can chart this for people so that they can stitch it too. Because I just love how it turned out. And I put it on, this looks like that cardstock stuff, but it's a piece of wood that I painted with like putty or some color. But yeah, I really really, really like this. And then I consulted with Lisa, my finishing consult person, and I wasn't sure about putting the button on, but now I'm really glad I did because it looked kind of blank. But if I do say so myself, wouldn't you guys love it if Liz charted this for you? And maybe so I just turned the little 4 dots into hearts, and I might try flipping that flower upside down myself, and I think it'd be really cute that way. But I love this. I love the I just stitched this on. I think it was similar to the other. It was a Lakeside 36 count. It might have been even the other chunk. I think it was of the one I just showed you. Okay, now here is the piece I loved. I loved the fabric when I got it. I loved the chart when I got it. I love stitching it. I even didn't hate finishing it, but it's from this book by Blackbird Design, My Dear Hearts. And I would like to stitch the sampler too, but maybe next year. And it's Sweetheart Pincushion. Now, unfortunately, when I found the fabric that I found to use that I thought was really similar to this is Weeks Red Pear, and I could only find the 30 count, and I think it calls for 36 count. Let's see. Yeah, it calls for 36 count. So, but I still went with the 1/2, and I used 2 floss colors I had, which if you need to know, ask me because I'll look them up. But look at this, guys. Don't you love it? I love it. Is that all that matters? So, I really followed their finishing directions pretty spot on. I bought these crystal beads. I don't know why, but they look just perfect, I think. And then all you do, and I'm going to go back and glue mine in because I have young grandchildren and I don't want to take the responsibility of someone swallowing a bead. But all you do is put the bead on a stick pin and push it in. So, I mean, that part goes really, really fast. And then I love this. I was looking for just a very dainty piece to put on the back. And so that's what I went to the quilt shop for. But this is one of those things that when I finished it, I was just like, oh, I am just thrilled to have it in my rotation of seasonal items. This I might leave out. Oh, I have the year on it. I don't know if you could see that. You know, and it was wonderful when Barb Adams was designing because I could use her bead and not have to think very much about, you know, putting the initial anywhere else. So that's helpful. So I reference this. This is a little box that I don't even know where it came from. It either came from my dad's cousin, who was my godmother, or through my mom, maybe it was my grandma's. I'm not really sure. But this box is from a candy company that was in Milwaukee. And I love just the fact that I keep these things in here. And it was filled with, you know, just like old I don't know how old this is. This is maybe from like the 60s. But it's just like I always look in here first for finishing things. And I think these are May baskets. Look at this. Like I could see that on the back of, are those May baskets? That's what they look like to me. On the back of a pillow or something. And there's like little bits of, I think it's seam binding, but it feels more like, almost like silk. I mean, it's not polyester feeling at all. And this is a chunk of what I put on the Prairie Schooler pillow. So I've got a nice long piece yet. I know my grandma, like, so when they had clothes that would wear out, they would cut them up and make rugs and stuff. And so I know she used to cut off like buttons and trim and reuse it. Some of these. So yeah, it's just, and this is like a rose pattern. I don't know what else you do with these other than put them on the back because you couldn't cut them. And this looks, this is so beautiful, but it's really, I don't know, like age spotted to the nth degree, but you know, sometimes we try to make our fabrics look like that. Here's another little lace doily-ish thing. There's a blue, oh, this is a check, I think. No, it's an owl. Oh my gosh. Could be dangerous. Yeah, I had two embarrassing things happen to me. Well, not happen to me. So we were up north and went into a little corner store. We only needed two things, so I went one way, my husband went another, and got my thing. I saw he was standing in line, and we were gonna go out, drive out on a lake. And we had just had breakfast, and I saw he was holding like some snacks, and I'm like, how can you be hungry already? But I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. So I stand behind him, and I'm, you know, like, I don't say anything because I'm just kind of looking around. All of a sudden I look, and there's my husband behind me, and I'm like, who's this man I'm standing so close to? And just like, I should have just backed up and not said a thing. But out of my mouth came, oh my gosh, I thought you were my husband, which then caused him and like all his snowmobiling friends to look at me and the clerk, and everyone's just laughing, and they're like, oh, the things that happen in the little corner store. I'm like, oh my God, I could have died. I was so glad I had a mask on because I'm like, all right, pretty anonymous. So that, and it's another good one. My aunt's funeral. It was a really, really bitter cold day, and we were going from the church to the cemetery, and my husband forgot a hat, and my daughter was going to go right home. She had to get home for the kids, and so she had a hat in her car. So I said, well, okay, I'll get it, you know, before you leave, we leave. So so I get to the car, and instead of doing like a luncheon because of all the high risk people, they did box lunches. So my husband's in the car, starting eating his lunch, and then he said, oh, there goes Amanda, our daughter, in her van. And I'm like, he's like, try to catch her. So I'm like, I ran up, and the van is like it had to make like a U around, and I was almost catching it, and then it would just go speeding ahead, and I'm like waving and whatever. And I'm like, finally the van turned the corner. I'm like, oh, you know, it's too late. And so I start walking back, and all of a sudden I look towards the church, and there's my daughter, and she's just laughing. She's like, what were you doing? And I'm like, I thought it was you. So, like, I was trying to chase this car down that wasn't her, to get the hat. So, we were just laughing about that. And then, like, maybe 2 weeks later, the granddaughter of the, it was my aunt, so her granddaughter was getting married, and so we get to I was at a rural barn, and so we get there, and I had been texting my daughter because I think I had stuff in the car for her, or she had stuff for us, and if she was there yet, and she wasn't, and so she said, oh, we're, you know, stuck by a train, we'll be there in a few minutes. And so we pull in a few minutes later, and they pull in right next to us, and she has, you know, the standard van, not every other, but lots of moms have. And so I see her like go forward in her seat like this, so I go, and just as I'm doing it, I realize it's not her. It's the woman who I've been chasing after. I was just like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. I'm so embarrassed. Like, she's gonna think like crazy. Well, then during the course of the wedding, my husband he was talking to her. She was like aunt of the bride or something. And he explained the situation, and she didn't know I chased after her the first time, so I felt a little bit better. Oh, that was a ramble. Okay. So back to the embroidery. I don't even know how I got on that. This is pretty. I like that. I'm like, you think of all our, you know, work and all the stitches and time, and I don't know, just, there's so many pretty little pieces of trim. Like, I think maybe a thin little ribbon would go through that top part, maybe even nothing. And this one I love too. And here's a blue one. Let's see. Oh, this is like ivory. I think this is, I don't know what, it has a little pattern in it. I mean, and I think, you know, with all the imperfections we purposely try to put on things, I'm just going to use them as they are, because one is prettier than the next. So that's what's in my little bin. So, all right, well, I guess that's about all I have for you. I'm going to finish out the rest of this month stitching on my pieces I started already. And yeah, I'm thrilled to have some of these things done. I mean, let's see, right in this video alone, it's 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10 finishes. That's pretty good. I mean, yeah, the little pillows are quick, but still got to get them done, right? So, I hope those of you that are interested in stitching the spring chart, leave me a comment on what you like about spring, and I'll leave a comment on your comment within a few days and get that out so someone can start on some spring stitching. And I'm going to go back, and now that Valentine's Day is officially here, I'm going to stop any of the other things that I had started and leave them for next year, rather. Might have to make a Valentine's love binder for all the things You know, like I'll just be thinking, okay, that's the last one. And then someone will post something on Instagram and it's a freebie and it's cuter than the, you know, other things I wanted to stitch. And so, you know, I'm thinking maybe it would be good to just do like 1 month of all smalls, but that's not going to be this year. I need to get, you know, some of my series things cleaned up. Seriously. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm getting close on my other things, and I stitch because I want to have them on display, not just, well, I love stitching too, but I still would like to have the piece on my wall or, you know, on display somewhere. That brings me joy. So, nothing else really too new. We had my granddaughter's birthday, and so I was tasked with making her cake. So I found a place to order some SVG files of Encanto, a great Disney movie. If you haven't seen it, we don't talk about Bruno. It's like, once I heard that song, it's like playing in my brain. I couldn't get it to stop. So, I'll put some pictures of the cake. She loved it. She was just like, the best part, you know, was the cake. And, you know, just, she's such a sweetie. And we watched the kids for a weekend. Our son-in-law had a work event, a weekend event that they had to attend, and so we went there on like Friday to Sunday morning, and oh my gosh, you know, like they're so fun, but it's like I would never get anything done. And well, and part of it was the Packer game that we lost was going to happen on Saturday night, and my granddaughter, like, she's been all into, she watches like cooking shows and she wants to make a cooking video. And so we had done the start of one like on it was New Year's Eve because my son and his friend were coming, and I had tried making this Polish cheesecake, which must have leaked into my oven. So when I started the oven back up for our cooking show dessert, there was like all this smoke in the kitchen, and it was just like chaos, and the kids are like running, but the camera was pointed down towards the counter, and the cake was ready, you know, gonna go in the oven. So all you see on that part are like them running back and forth, and you know, all this chaos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't really see even the smoke, but maybe I'll put a clip of that in too, just because it was pretty funny. But then we made some football brownies. So we just basically baked brownies and then shaped them, cut them into football shapes, and then put some chocolate ganache on them, and piped some powdered sugar frosting for the laces. And oh, she's so into it, and just, you know, loves to do the editing and whatever, and you know, it's just so much fun for her. So we got the first one done from the smoke-filled event, and so working on editing the second one. But she's just, yeah, such a joy, and they're all just so cute. I mean, they were really pretty good, and you know, I really can't complain, other than, you know, it's always hard being in someone else's house where you don't know where things are and whatever, but figure it's easier for them to sleep in their own beds, and we brought them back to our house for a little bit during the day Saturday. And yeah, they're fun ages, you know. When the youngest is a toddler, it's much easier than when you have a baby in the mix. So he took my my granddaughter's other grandma got her like a fancy gold mini backpack or something, and the 2-year-old immediately grabs it and puts it on and would not let go of it, put his basketball in it, and then hid it under a table so no one could find it. So today I got a video of him, you know, like getting the backpack out and getting the basketball out, and it was all discovered. So, all right, well now it's, yeah, this went on much longer than I intended. So, I guess that's about all I have for you. So if you're interested in the chart, just comment and make sure the word spring is in your comment and why you like spring, and someone will get that chart soon. And for everyone else, I hope you continue to fill the world with love. Today's a good day for it. So happy Valentine's Day, and it's going to be a while before you see me. There's too much going on. So yeah, everything's well, but next video will be the giveaway for 7,000 subscribers. So I hope you tune into that one and see what you have a chance to try for. So until then, stay well. Bye. So I just wanted to show you a few pieces that I have for Valentine's Day and winter. Love this one. This is Love. I believe it's Love, but it's by New York Dreamer. And one of my favorites on that black. Oh, just love how it pops. And here's my January wordplay. And then I've got some gifts. Lisa stitched the strawberry for me for our local stitch group exchange. The Australia with Love. Be My Valentine was a freebie. I think the 2 in the back were freebies as well. There's my beautiful pillow from Rebecca. And here's my beautiful pillow from Tracey. Just love that. This design is available in her Etsy shop. I'll include it in show notes. But she designed this in memory of Leanne and stitched it and made the beautiful pillow. So love everything about it. It's so beautiful. Keep waving so that we don't set up the smoke alarm.
Why?
Because we don't want it to go.
Well, that would be horrible.
Yes.
I don't know why there's smoke all over the kitchen. I don't know why it's smoking. Mommy, why is it smoking all over the kitchen?
I don't know.
Huh? What? It must have boiled over or something.
Something must have. I don't
What?
remember it smoking on Christmas Eve though.
What? We don't want the smoke alarms to go off. Where's your arms, Grandpa, if you're going to be in here? We don't want
Try to figure out what's going on.